Warrior Transition Battalion. It's a battalion designated for soldiers that need to either transition back into the Army or transition out. It gives them the medical care to either do one of the two functions. So I'm a cadre there, so I work with the soldiers one-on-one a lot.
Try to help us get back on our feet and reestablish our lives with our injuries.
One of the Red Cross workers came up to me, Rebecca, and said, "Hey, Sergeant Major, do you happen to know anybody in the unit who does any volunteer work?" And I said, "Yeah, of course. We have hundreds of soldiers, I'm sure, that do some type of community work on the outside. But there's somebody here who does something really special, and they're feeding our wounded warriors." It's quite an amazing story that Sue and Mike, or Mr. Martin, have been serving that community in the WTB meals every week for 9 years.
I have worked with people who have been injured on the job, workers' compensation. I've worked with railroad people who have been injured. I've worked with the state, with people with mental health. I worked at the Warrior Transition Battalion, and then I worked for the VA, vocational rehabilitation. But now I'm self-employed and I do vocational assessments for people with the state.
Joined the Army 42 years ago. I retired in 2009 after 33 years. I love the Army so much. I got a job at Fort Riley and I love it. I've been working with soldiers my whole life. I don't know anything different.
I worked at the Warrior Transition Battalion at the time when a number of soldiers were coming back and they were seriously, critically injured. We had a lot of soldiers with PTSD and a lot of soldiers with traumatic brain injury. Somehow wanted to help soldiers, but I didn't really know how that would take place. Well, we had a soldier that went to the combat, what do you call that?
Combat stress program.
Combat stress program at the VA here in Topeka. And he had been involved with a Point Man dinner at a couple's house here in Topeka. It's a ministry called Point Man Ministries, and was started by a gentleman in Washington State after the Vietnam War. He became a cop and he kept arresting the same people over and over, and he found out that they were Vietnam vets just like himself. And so he started taking them to lunch. And his phrase was, they were home, but they never really came home. And Steve and Rosie Williams are the state directors here for Point Man in Kansas. And so we coordinated with them to get it started at Fort Riley. And the nurse case manager that was here, Colonel Dempster, she's not here anymore, she was very concerned about the soldiers that were isolating themselves in the barracks. They just wouldn't come out, they wouldn't talk to anybody, they weren't socializing. And so we thought, well, if anything will get them, it'll be food, and it's home cooked, and it's free.
Because it's very beneficial. It gets the guys and the women out of the barracks socializing, so if they have any kind of medical problems socializing or experience, they can get out and talk to other people with this family dinner.
Yeah, which I actually found somebody who has a similar injury to me because of Point Man. And we ended up bonding, and now we do a lot together because we know each other's limitations. We know what each other's feeling because we have the same injury.
I say, we want you to feel like you're going home to your mom or your grandma's house on Wednesday night, and you can just kick back. We've had big gorilla soldiers that are, you know, huge and tall get into the cake batter or get into the chocolate chip cookie dough, and our big joke has always been, we're doing a research project and we want to see if eating cookies before dinner actually ruins your appetite. So get back with us on that. And then they'll come back and they go, no, it didn't ruin it at all. And I said, well, okay, one more for that.
Both the Gilmartins have pretty much adopted me. Sometimes I'll just be like, hi Mom, hi Dad, and they actually answer to it just because they feel like family, and they try to provide that to all soldiers.
Mike and I do this voluntarily, nobody pays us. I used to always say when we first started, it was like fish and loaves, because we never knew how many people were going to be there. We didn't know if we'd have enough food. We didn't know if we'd have volunteers, but when one volunteer moves on, leaves the military, it seems like another one or several other ones come. So this has been our ministry to give back to the families that we care about and that we love.
I'm not a great planner. That's not my great skill, but You give me a plan, I'll make it happen. Sue has this innocence that I love about her. She'll run head first into a new adventure and then figure it out along the way. She, in some ways, is more trusting with that innocence than me. My big phrase is hope is eternal. So I know with hope comes great strength and great resiliency. And a part of me trusted her.
That was his first mistake.
But that's been hope, trust, and respect and honor has been a foundation of our marriage.
The definition in my eyes of a hero is someone that puts my needs above theirs. So when they come to me and talk to me, they set aside what they're doing, what they're going through to help me go through my abilities or whatever my limitations are. And if I'm feeling down, I was depressed about 3 weeks ago. Steph came in to dinner, wasn't having none of it. They come and talked to me and cheered me up. They were cooking for 70 people that night, but they took their time, 10, 20 minutes, aside from cooking, to help me as well.
I believe he definitely falls in the category of being a hero.
I don't see myself as a hero because I know I'm not a perfect person. I am not the person that I think fits that term of a hero. I know I'll be there first thing in the morning. I'll be one of the last people to leave at work. I do my job, and I do my job well because I care about the people I serve. When we found out we were nominated and then selected, it's like we almost didn't really want it because we don't want the limelight.
We don't?
No.
I don't want the paparazzi.
Yes.
I just feel like we do this it's a labor of love because we genuinely care about people.
Community Helping Heroes Award is not really ours. It's all those soldiers and family members. They're the ones over time become that community, and they're the ones that go the extra mile and become the heroes. All we do is facilitate it. We give them an opportunity to come out of their shells, to change who they are. Is that about right?